faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of City Council Member of the City of Eden Prairie
of the City Council Office of City Council Member of Eden Prairie
in the County of Hennepin
in the County of Hennepin
and the State of Minnesota
and the State of Minnesota
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Case, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I,
I,
and state your name,
Ron Case,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and of the State of Minnesota,
and of the State of Minnesota,
and faithfully discharge the duties
and faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Council Member
of the office of Council Member
of the City of Eden Prairie
of the City of Eden Prairie
in the County of Hennepin,
in the County of Hennepin,
State of Minnesota,
State of Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations on your reelection, both of you. We're delighted to be working with you. Just a reminder that prior to the start of each City Council meeting, we have an opportunity for citizens to address the Council on items that may or may not be on the agenda. Usually they're not on the agenda. This period of time is 6:30 to 6:55, and if you're interested in addressing the Council at that period of time, please contact the City Manager's office at 949-8412 by noon of the meeting date with your name, your phone number, and the issue that you wish to discuss. If time permits, we also have an ability for people to, on an impromptu basis, stand up and address council at that point in time. These portions of the meeting are not recorded or televised, and if you have any questions about it, please, again, contact the City Manager's office. The first proclamation tonight is a donation of the historic Flying Red Horse sign. Mr. Getchow.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Lotthammer.
Okay.
Your Honor, council members, we've been working with the Schwartz family, who many of you know have a long both professional and personal history here in the city of Eden Prairie, and it's been a delight to get to know them and also hear some of that history, which tonight you'll get to hear a little more as well. But one of the things that they first approached us with is the city taking ownership through their donation to the city of the Flying Red Horse sign, which is, as you talk to people around the community, an iconic historic sign in Eden Prairie. And so tonight, Katie is here tonight to give a presentation to give you a better idea of some of the history, also what it looks like. And I'll have her come forward, and while she's doing that, I'll just tell you a couple of ideas that we as staff have had. What would we do with the Flying Red Horse? And it does need some repair to it. We think that for an initial storage concept, we could put it in the Riley barn on one end. It basically fits or takes up the one end of the barn, and we would be able to do some interpretive signing until we were able to find a more permanent outdoor home for that. One of the concepts or ideas that's been floated around is, you know, the next phase at Round Lake of the remodel of the ball fields and shrinking down is potentially it could be in between or behind a couple of the ball fields, and could come on lighted when the lights for the ball fields come on. And but that would take a while to be put into a more of a protective case and restore the sign and make sure that we could take proper care of it. That would certainly give it its most exposure. But again, initially it does need a home, and it just seems like a horse in a barn makes some sense. But that would protect it as well as give us an opportunity to look at doing some of the restoration work and planning for its eventual future location. So Katie's here tonight to tell you a little bit more.
Council members, Mayor, thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks, Jay. It's been a pleasure to work with Jay and Lori and some of the other Parks and Rec people you have here at the city. It's been pretty awesome. They've been very open, with open arms, and it is a very significant piece of history to the city. And I've actually been asked by a few people that I've run into here and there, some regulars that we used to have, Where is it? You know, maybe you should come back to the city, et cetera, et cetera. So it's been a long time coming, but I want to bring it back to the city. So a little short history of the horse. 1936 to 2008, it was on top of our building for all 72 years. It only came down once. I'll show you a picture of when that happened, and I'll explain that. It was named a historical landmark, not only by the city, but by the state. Pilots from Flying Cloud Airport used to use it as a navigator. You all are nodding, you know that. It was grandfathered in by the city of Eden Prairie, by you, to be on a rooftop, or as a rooftop sign. I'm not sure of the exact date of that, I apologize, but I do not. It's one of the original Eden Prairie landmarks. A little bit of our history here as a family. I'm technically fourth generation Eden Prairie. We're one of the 9 founding families, and we just want to give something back to be recognized, well, I mean, not recognized by, but to remembered by. My grandmother is actually still one of the longest living Eden Prairie residents. She still resides at Summit Place in Eden Prairie. Is going to be 93 here in about 3 weeks. So, 94, sorry. 94. I've been corrected by my mother. Why donate? The sign belongs to the city, belongs to the people of the city, to all the longtime residents that have stories about the horse, which I actually, after we closed, I actually asked for stories from those that remember different things throughout history of the horse. And I do have those stories still. So if those want to go with the horse, then I can bring those too. So I do have a lot of people that did write in and whatnot. Most Eden Prairie residents know the sign, as you're nodding. And I already explained that most people have already asked about it. My reason for the donation is that my grandparents, both of them, worked for their entire lives for this sign. That's how I look at it. And I want their story to be told through this sign, through the dedication, through everything, through this. My grandfather gave up his dream to go play professional baseball, which he also helped start here in Eden Prairie. So I think that the ball fields are actually very fitting for this. But yeah, he was going to play professional baseball, and he gave it up for the American dream and his family and the business here in Eden Prairie. So just a few fun photos that I found. So this is my grandfather and Ralph Nesbitt back in 1936 with the original sign up on the building. We had to change the facing of the sign over time because Mobile changed its facing as well, so its logo and whatnot, so we had to change that. But this is facing north, so you'd be looking kind of at the fire station and Champs and Redstone and all that good stuff there on the left. This is the first and only time that the sign ever came down. 1978, we remodeled, and this is my grandfather standing in front of the sign, and then we built on Country Kitchen, etc. This is in about the 2000s. This is what it looks like now, lit up. And then myself standing in front of it in 2008 when it finally came down its last time, about March 23rd of 2008. And that is my presentation to you.
Thank you so much, Katie. This is so generous of the Schwartz family. I can remember as a child, I grew up in Golden Valley, and we would drive to New Prague to visit my relatives, and we'd drive down Valley View and onto Flying Cloud Drive, and we always knew where we were. And it was so strange to come back and move to Eden Prairie and see the Flying Red Horse, and just brought back all these memories of my childhood. And when it came down, I was really frightened and worried that it had been sold to some dealer, and it would be appearing on the East Coast or the West Coast, and it would be lost to Eden Prairie. So I'm thrilled to find out that you guys have it and that you're interested in donating it. Thank you so much. It's really generous.
Yeah.
Councilmember Nelson.
Yeah, I'd like to second that. I really would like to see it come back. Plus, I would like to have the city get those stories and copies of the pictures, perhaps. I think it would make a nice thing to put on the website once we put it up, and some explanations and history about it. It really does belong. Maybe there's some more city pictures to include it.
There's many.
Councilmember Case.
Well, and Eden Prairie never had the downtown, and what I'm going to say, you obviously know, maybe others don't, but when people would drive into Eden Prairie and they saw this first, there was an intersection of, I guess at the time it wasn't 212, but Flying Cloud Drive today, would Y off, and the one Y to the east is now what's the Circle Road around the mall,
Yeah.
and then the other one is the road itself. So the Y right in the hook of it was this gas station, and therefore the restaurant that your grandma Irene worked at for 30 years, whatever, 40 years, was called the Y.
Yeah.
And so that was Eden Prairie. I mean, if you can't get much more iconically for people driving through Eden Prairie, that was, because we didn't have a downtown, this was Eden Prairie. So we're really, really fortunate to have this, and thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
We'll take good care of it.
Oh, good.
Thank
I
you.
I know you will.
We need a motion.
I would move to adopt the resolution accepting the donation of the historic Flying Red Horse Monument sign.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Thank you very much again. We also have another donation, a senior center donation from Gordon Williams. Mr. Lothammer.
Your Honor, council members, this one is getting to be kind of an annual tradition for Mr. Williams. He is fortunate that his volunteer time is also rewarded from his past employer, State Farm Insurance, and to a dollar amount of $500. He wishes that goes towards the senior center and specifically towards the volunteer recognition event. So a pretty appropriate place for that to go. So with that, I'll stand for questions.
Is Mr. Williams here tonight?
He is not here tonight.
Okay. So he's retired, and State Farm still does this as a thank you to their employees?
Yes, they'll match his volunteer hours with dollars that they contribute to the organization of his choice.
Okay, great. Thank you. Is there a motion?
Yes, I move to adopt the resolution accepting the donation in the amount of $500 from State Farm Companies Foundation on behalf of Gordon Williams for his volunteer service at the Eden Prairie Senior Center to be used toward the 2013 Senior Center Volunteer Recognition Event.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. How long have you said he's been donating this for the recognition event?
I believe this is the third year.
Oh, that's wonderful. Great. Thank you. Is there a motion for approval of the agenda and other items of business?
So moved.
Second.
Anything to add or delete? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Is there a motion for approval of the minutes from the City Council workshop held on Tuesday, December 4th?
Move approval.
Second.
Any items to correct? All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Is there a motion for approval of the minutes from the City Council meeting held that same date?
Move approval.
Second.
Any items to correct there? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Abstain.
Thank you. Reports of advisory boards and commissions, we have none tonight. Consent calendar. Is there a motion for approval of the items on the consent calendar?
Move approval.
Second.
Any items to pull for discussion? Any questions on any of that? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Payment of claims. Is there a motion to approve?
I would move approval of payment of claims as submitted.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any items to question? Okay, roll call, please.
Aye.
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 Aye. We have a couple items under ordinances and resolutions. The first is a resolution declaring the Budget Advisory Commission inactive. Mr. Getchell.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. As you know, we had discussed previously that we did not receive applications for the upcoming process for the Budget Advisory Commission. In addition to an issue brought forward with potentially needing to change the charter of the commission if the commission were to move forward. Since early 2011, the direction of the commission from the City Council is to approve several different projects at the direction of the council and not necessarily the operating budget. And as you know, there's been quite a bit of good work that's been done by the BAC on evaluating long-term funding for our capital improvements, which led to the establishment of the franchise fee, a discussion and a report on the use of our city center, an evaluation of elected officials' pay. But I had brought to you the issue of that not quite following the ordinance that initially established the commission And following discussion, I bring forward a resolution to inactivate the commission. And I propose that some of the members that remain on the commission, along with others that might be interested in local government finance, could be a part of future task forces, special projects, community conversations, or community engagement surrounding our budget. But due to the applications that did not come forward, we have the resolution inactivating the commission, which the council then, as you can see from the memo, at a future date could also pass a resolution to reactivate the commission if you so desire, or if a future council so desires.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions or comments? I would just like to make the comment that I agree there has been some good work that has come out of the commission. I think that the sense of the council when we've had prior discussion was not that we're not after citizen input into the budget process, but that we're going to go about it in different ways. We're going to go about it through task forces. We've got a town hall meeting planned on the date isn't definite, but we have that on the calendar for this summer where there's an opportunity for input. Certainly today versus 12, 15 years ago, there's a lot more information on our website that people can access about not only our current budget, but the process that we're going through and putting together next year's budget. So the information is there. There's opportunities to comment on it and provide input, and we will still make use of citizens on task forces to deal with specific issues. And that way we can get a group of people, too, that are particularly trained or experienced and skilled in certain areas. So, Councilmember Aho.
Well, I just want to take this opportunity to thank all of the people that did serve on the Budget Advisory Commission. I think they did some really good work and some important work, and they really fulfilled a need at the time. And I am very sad to see the commission become inactive, but I do want to thank all those people that did serve, and we do appreciate all the hard work that they did, and I know they put a lot of time and a lot of effort into it, and we greatly appreciate that.
Yes, good point. Thank you. Councilmember Nelson.
Yes, I think they've done a great deal of good for the city over this last 2-year period of time, but they were sort of working as a task force, so I can see that working. I would like to continue having task forces go in on specific projects like this, because I think they did work in a way and in a depth with some background that is very welcome and needed, and means that we can get that work done in a way that we wouldn't be able to otherwise. So I too would like to thank them and let them know that we definitely will be using services of citizens and perhaps some of theirs for budget-related task forces on specific topics. You know, it could be as early as this year or next year even.
Okay. Thank you. Is there a motion?
I would move to adopt a resolution inactivating the Budget Advisory Commission.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item we have under this category is the first and second reading of an ordinance regarding licensing of therapeutic massage enterprises. Mr. Getchell.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. We bringing forward tonight a proposal to enact licensing regulations for massage therapists in the city of Eden Prairie. Several of our neighboring communities are already moving toward city licensure. Our neighboring communities, Minnetonka, Edina, Bloomington, and several others toward city licensure of massage businesses. The staff believes that it's a more safer and efficient way to manage these businesses and to regulate them by conducting investigations ahead of a license, as opposed to post investigations into activities that there may be concerns with from our police department. I think the biggest point to note here is the vast majority of the businesses in Eden Prairie that currently operate massage but also have a cosmetology license or similar license would be exempt from having to apply and pay for the license. So quite frankly, the majority of the businesses that we're talking about are individual therapists that might operate in the community for the most part, and the fees that we set for licensing up front are relatively modest. For instance, a $50 annual license fee for an individual massage therapist would be a fee that we set to recover the costs to issue the license itself. So we wanted to set the fees at an amount that only provides for our cost recovery, but we think can provide for probably a safer community through these operations. So we know that there are several individual therapists that may work in the community. We wouldn't know who they are because we don't license them, but we will work closely with those that come forward in the future to license and operate in our city. And I want to even say that our police department has mentioned that there are some massage businesses that would like to move into the community and ask that we have an ordinance like this, that would like to see us license at a city level their operation because it feels that it provides more legitimacy to the operation in the area. So if you were to ask if there were any the type of input we've received, actually the input we've received has been positive and promoting this type of activity. We have a first and second reading of the ordinance on the agenda to potentially pass this in one evening. If it's unanimously approved for first and second reading, it will go into effect, but it does need unanimous approval on the second reading. The first reading could be a simple majority, and then it would need to come back at a later meeting for another simple majority, but I just want to state that we're putting both readings on tonight, and if unanimously approved for first and second reading, would be enacted after publication.
Okay. Any questions of Mr. Getchell? Councilmember Case.
Actually, Councilmember Nelson's first.
Okay, Councilmember Nelson.
I just wanted to say I agree with you that this could be a good thing for business, especially individual massage therapists, because they could then put in their advertising that they're licensed through Eden Prairie. There wouldn't be any questions about exactly what they do, and it would lend a lot of more dignity that's deserved by the massage therapists that have gone through school and training and everything that sometimes get confused for other occupations. So I think it's to the benefit for everybody who has taken the time to get educated to become one of these, for us to have this for them. So I'm very much in favor of it.
Councilmember Case.
There's no doubt that the legitimate massage therapy organizations favor this, and we've been lobbied at various events that we've been at over the last decade, nationally and statewide, by legitimate massage therapy organizations that favor this. I just have a question, maybe of Mr. Rosso, but does this make us in any way liable for the perception that, in essence, we're certifying the legitimacy of a massage either organization, enterprise, or person who then might turn out to be less than scrupulous? It's hard for me to say, evidently.
Case, members of the council, it does not make the city liable for those kinds of activities that you're referring to. It's similar to licensing any contractor who works in the city. It's a protection for the general protection of the public, not an individual protection, and there is no liability that runs with that.
All right. Is there a motion?
Yep. I move to approve first and second reading of an ordinance amending City Code Chapter 5 by adding Section 5.46 relating to therapeutic massage enterprises and therapists, regulation and adoption. Resolution approving summary for publication.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The motion passes. We have a lot of appointments tonight. This is kind of our business meeting, the first meeting in January. And the first item tonight is a resolution designating the official city newspaper. Mr. Getchell, do you want to address that?
Mayor, I can maybe just cover all the appointments really quick, and then council can go through these individually. So some of these are, well, all of these are appointments, with the exception of one that we need to make annually. Some of these appointments were made on consent with our depositories and our investments. The other appointments all need a separate motion, such as our official newspaper. In the case of the official newspaper, we're recommending once again that you
designate the Eden Prairie News as our official newspaper. And then we also have, after that appointment, we have several appointments for council members serving on all the various groups and commissions and organizations that we belong to that are both regional in nature, statewide in nature, in some cases national in nature, and even city-specific, for instance, the fire relief or the Regional Cable Commission as well. So these are annual appointments that we need to make to all the different groups, and the last appointment is the appointment of our city attorney, which was last made 3 years ago. So that would not necessarily have to be an annual appointment, but when the last appointment for our civil attorney was made back in 07, I believe, or 09, I'm sorry, 09, we're asking for a reappointment for that position as well.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion on the official newspaper?
Do you want to kind of make this fast and go up and down, maybe?
Yep.
I'll start.
Anything there, it's up to you.
Well, yeah, Brad, why don't you start?
Move to adopt the resolution designating the Eden Prairie News as the official city newspaper for the year 2013.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Move to adopt resolution designating official meeting dates, time, and place for the City of Eden Prairie Council in 2013 and appointing Councilmember Ron Case acting mayor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Are we skipping?
Yes, skipping that.
Move to adopt the resolution appointing city council members to serve as commissioners for the Eden Prairie Housing and Redevelopment Authority and appointing Nancy Terry Lukens as chair, Rick Getchell as executive director, and I'm not sure who I'm supposed to put in as secretary.
I believe that, yes, I believe Councilmember Nelson has been secretary.
Are you up for this again?
Yeah,
And-
that's fine.
And Councilmember Nelson as secretary for calendar year 2013.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Move to adopt the resolution designating
Robert Ellis.
Robert Ellis as the
And me as an alternate.
Robert Ellis as the director, and alternate director is Ron Case.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
So you just flip-flop.
Brad?
Move to approve the appointment of the mayor as a delegate and council members as alternates to the National League of Cities.
Sorry.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Move to approve appointment of the mayor to the Municipal Legislative Commission.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Should I?
No, I should do it.
Yeah.
I'll do that one.
Okay.
This motion to approve the appointment of Ron Case to the Southwest Cable Commission.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, then you do that one.
Okay, then move to appoint Councilmember Nelson to the Eden Prairie Foundation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Move to approve the appointment of Councilmember Aho to the I-494 Corridor Commission.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You have to do this one.
Move to approve the appointment of Sherry, Councilmember Butcher, to the Butcher Wickstrom to the City and School Facilities Use Task Force.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Weed inspector?
Move. You must be the weed
I am the
inspector.
weed inspector.
Move to appoint Jeff Cordes as assistant weed inspector for the City of Eden Prairie.
Second.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then move to appoint Mayor Terry Lukens to Southwest Transit Board as the Eden Prairie City Council representative for a 3-year term to end December 31st, 2015.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Should we stop with this one? Do you want to talk about the fire relief, or can we just go through that?
You can
like
keep
this?
going.
Okay.
Move to adopt the resolution appointing Councilmember Ron Case and Finance Manager Sue Cheever to the Eden Prairie Fire Relief Association.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Appointment of city attorney.
Move to reappoint Mr. Rick Rosso as Eden Prairie City Attorney beginning January 1st, 2013.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Brings us to our last item on the agenda, which is a report from Mr. Lothammer regarding the Twins Community Fund Grant Award.
Your Honor, council members, you're probably used to seeing this as coming from the Hennepin Youth Sports Grant, and we've been very successful with that over the last couple of years. The funding is really from the same source, but the award in this case comes through the Twins Community Fund. We worked with our baseball association to apply for the grant, and they were successful. The grant itself funds $29,700. The baseball association matches with another $39,300, so actually exceeds the match. And what this does is it adds covered players' benches as well as protective fencing in front of those benches at Franlow Park, and then also at the fields at Cummins Grill fields within Starring Lake Park. So something that the Baseball Association is glad to be able to do, both for sun protection as well as protection from foul balls. So that really enhances the safety of the park. So we appreciate their willingness to continue to partner with us and to seek these and leverage these grant funds. So we would ask to have the council accept these funds from the Twins Community Fund.
Any questions for Mr. Lotthammer? Is there a motion?
I would move to accept grant funding from the Twins Community Fund to construct fenced and covered players' benches.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Is there any other business? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. 7:30.
I am folding the pants. The pants are long. Do they go on my head? Do they? Do the pants go on my head? No. They go on.
Everyday moments can become